Kayla, thank you. Kayla Tausche, let's bring in Helima Croft from RBC Capital Markets. Helima, good to see you. If we take a look at the jump that we saw in oil prices, whether it be Brent or WTI, is this a market that believes an invasion is going to happen?
I mean, I think the market, this is to be expected given the fact that Russia is such a major energy producer. But I think what the market really needs to take account of is that the U.S. president, the National Security Advisor, essentially warning that Americans should leave Ukraine in 48 hours. I mean, that is a step change higher than what they have been warning out before. I mean, that indicates that they believe that commercial aircraft may not be available in 48 hours. So I think the market actually is taking this seriously. But again, things could really, really deteriorate. And I actually think that the risk is probably higher than the market is pricing in right now.
So just tease that out, Helima. Explain why this kind of crisis would lead to higher oil prices.
I mean, Sarah, we look at the fact that, Russia is one of the largest oil producers, oil exporters. They are a significant natural gas exporter. They are the main exporter of natural gas into Europe. There is a concern that natural gas supplies going through Ukraine will be disrupted, that Russia would potentially weaponize energy exports because they will be hit with very, very significant sanctions if those troops cross the border into Ukraine. We are talking about their major financial banks being sanctioned, VTB, Sberbank, Gazprom Bank, potentially Russia being removed from the SWIFT payment system. So there is a concern that in response that Russia could look to weaponize energy exports in order to try to change calculations in Western capitals about their willingness to come to the aid of Ukraine.
So, Helima, the Biden administration in this situation is in a very sort of difficult spot because the reaction would be very tough sanctions. The reaction would engender higher oil prices. And here we are with inflation at 7.5%. How do you think they play this out?
I mean, the Biden administration has been working around the clock for the past couple of weeks to try to get additional natural gas supplies into Europe. Amos Hochstein, he is a special envoy for energy security. He has been in phone calls and conversations with key Asian consuming nations like Japan, which is essentially freeing up LNG cargoes to go into Europe. The Emir of Qatar was in Washington last week. There's an expectation that Qatar would likely waive destination clauses for LNG to allow more supplies to go into Europe. U.S. LNG has been going into Europe. And so the administration has been working to try to mitigate the impact of a Russian energy disruption into Europe.